Hi lovelies, welcome, and if you're not new here, welcome back to Glowings. This is a safe space to feel, to heal, to grow, and to glow. So I'm very happy to see you guys. I hope everyone's in nature, touching grass, bathing in the sun. I think now more than ever in today's political climate, it is so important you come outside and just like enjoy the whimsy moments of the day. Come outside, watch the sunset, take walks, sit in nature. Today I want to talk about something really that has impacted my life a lot, and it is that what is meant for you will be divinely timed. I feel like a lot of us, we like to rush things, and we like to think that if I want something, it has to happen now, or if I want something, you want it like immediately. You don't really have the patience. Especially it's even worse when it's like something that's your big dream and then you see someone else doing it or someone else achieving it. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, let's say you've always wanted to go to med school and you've always wanted to be a doctor, and that's like been a big dream of yours, and then you see like your best friend who it's not even that important to them, or it's not even that, like, you know, they don't really care about getting into med school, that like it's not that big of a deal to them, and then they get it like successfully. Like, of course you're gonna be happy for them, but in your head you're gonna be like, well, why wasn't it me, or why isn't it my turn? And I just want to remind you that what is meant for you will not pass you by, and what is meant for you will be divinely timed. I think it's so important that when things happen to your friends or to the people surrounding you, there's this like saying that means like your own blessing is around the corner. If it's knocking on your neighbor's door, it's very close to you as well. So I think it's so important to just realize that if it's for you, it won't pass you by, no matter the time it is, no matter the space it is, no matter what you're going through. What's for you will always find you, and it will always be divinely timed. And I also want to remind you that a lot of times we think like that thing that we want is like a do or die situation, but sometimes rejection is also protection, and the universe is just protecting you from that right now, because you wouldn't know what to do with it right now. And you want to think like, of course I would know what to do. Of course, if I got into med school, I'll be brilliant and I'll excel and I'll do this and I'll do that, which could be true. Like, that could be true as well, but it's just when things don't go your way and like immediately you're like sad about it, down the line when you look back at it, you're like, oh my god, okay, that had to happen that way so I can come to like be where I am today. And it just starts to make sense for me too. Like, whenever things don't go my way, of course I'm sad, and I'm like, oh, but I did everything correctly and I followed this, you know, the rules, and I followed this and I followed that. But like, at the end of the day, when I sit back down and then I look at like where I am today, I'm like, okay, so that needed to happen that way, and that was a blessing in disguise, and I didn't realize in the moment that it was a blessing in disguise. So I just want to remind you that if this is you, that it's not going to pass you by, and it will find you, okay? I know the like phrase divine timing sounds pretty, or like sounds like pretty words people use when things aren't going their way, but I really think it's just the universe's way of preparing you for what you want, while also like you wishing for what you want. Like, it's not gonna happen that exact moment, it's not gonna happen that exact like second you wish for it, or maybe what you vision it to be, but the universe is still preparing you for when it does happen for you. How I like to see it is like planting a seed, right? When you plant a seed, you don't like dig it up every 5 seconds, like, oh my god, are you growing yet? Hello, is it growing? No, you leave it be, and like you just believe that even though you can't see what's happening, you believe that something is growing, and under the surface there is something happening, and there is something that's going to bloom from this. And you water it, you water that dream, you water that plant. And I want to remind you that just because something isn't happening right now doesn't mean it's not going to happen down the line for you. Just because you wanted to get into med school this year doesn't mean if you try it again next year you're not going to get into it. Or even like with your gym goals or whatever the goal is, it doesn't have to be med school. Just an example, because like the people that I'm surrounded by in my health field, it's like basically everyone's dream to get into it, and then most people feel like a failure when they don't get into it. It's just kind of like, no, it didn't happen for you right now doesn't mean it's not going to happen for you down the line. And like, that doesn't mean like I'm telling you to like do nothing though. Like, you can still try, you can still show up, while still understanding that yes, I'm going to put in the best of my efforts, but if this doesn't go how I envision it, then maybe it's just either not for me, or it maybe it's just like it's not happening for me right now. So please still try, still show up, like water that plant. At the end of the day, if you just put the seed like in soil, and there was no rain and it was just heat, it probably wouldn't grow. So you just want to keep trying, keep watering that vision, keep watering that plans, and understanding that it's not happening now, but it will happen later. And I want you to remember that instead of just forcing things, just flow with it, okay? Flow with the flow of life, because when you try to force and you try to grip onto it, you're probably gonna, you know, repel it. But when you just stay still, okay, you attract it, whatever that dream might be, and you work towards it, and you're not forcing it, okay? You're doing the best that you can, but also understanding that life happens, and life happens in its own way, and whatever is meant for you will find you. For me, I've been trying to trust that what's meant for me won't feel like constant anxiety. It won't feel like I'm always chasing, and it will just find me where I'm at when the time is ready. It doesn't mean I'm not going to try, it doesn't mean I'm not going to push for things, but I'm going to do those things while also understanding that, yeah, as much as I put an effort into these things, there's going to be a possibility that it might not go my way, and that's just life. That's just the flow of life. Not forcing, but just flowing with life is the best advice you can take from this. So if something hasn't worked out yet, maybe it's not rejection, maybe it's just preparing you for it, okay? And even though you might not realize it, it might seem like, oh my god, this didn't happen, I'm such a failure. It could just be preparing you for the greater good. It could just be preparing you and helping you make space for when that thing does come, for you to handle it with grace and with ease and with peace. Because who knows, what if you have the ball right now and you drop it because you're not prepared for it, you know? So yeah, if you really needed to hear this, I'm so glad you found this video. Just trust your own path and trust that you're never behind, okay? Life doesn't have a deadline, and you must understand that life is not a race. And even though things might be happening for the people around you, it doesn't mean that yours is rejected. Sometimes it just means that, you know, it's, you know, like a plant, okay? You just have to water it, and when it's time, it's gonna bloom, and it's gonna bloom beautifully for you, and things are gonna be beautiful for you. And yeah, just hang in there, and don't forget to let the glow guide you. I love you. Stay magical, stay whimsy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.